gleams every night, crime scene tape phosphorescing in the dark woods. It guards between human intellect and the sentience of nature. Consider your feelings for a lone hawk soaring in the sky. Now consider it mantling over a little rabbit, and the squawk, squawk, squawk of dying life. The crime scene tape flaps between these two images, between the religious feeling of the soaring hawk and the frozen moment when we see what's on its talons. Consider the fern that covers the surface of the water, spreading to make a feast of the light, and everything below is held in darkness, starving slow. Between the survival of the fern and the deaths of the darkened plants and fish, that is where we put a barrier to mark evidence of a crime. This tape we put up, it's a strange legality, a symbol of our exclusively human concerns. Cut through it. Come into an extra human reality.
What's the first macabre thing you remember?
I remember being a kid, 4, maybe 5, waking up to discover a streak of dried blood on my pillow and wondering, from my ears? From my nose? From my eyes?
Blood from the eyes. That's rich. Like a detail from one of your stories. I don't remember that. You're coming awake, bleeding.
Probably it was a dream. Crows attacking fairies, tumbling bloody in the sky. I used to dream like that all the time. So vivid there'd be remnant outside my head. A stain upon my pillow.
I've been teaching my course on the contemporary novel for years. Then 2 years ago, I started a night class on romantic poetry, emphasis on the metaphysical. Coleridge, Baudelaire, Poe. Are you still religious? Not like we were before.
Of course not.
We should go in. It'll be dark soon.
You worried about snakes?
You are too. Don't lie.
There's some DVDs in the cabin. Horror movies.
Any bad ones?
We can hope.
All horror movies are about prying into private places, and the discoveries are like long falls through the dark. You have a story, Your character Lizzie, searching through a family member's private things.
Yes, Lizzie. She pays a secret visit to her stepbrother's closet and falls through a trap door.
The fall of Lizzie. Is it far?
A long tumble through the dark.
Into a basement?
More like a realm beneath the house.
Oh, I like that.
There's a troll down there, and Lizzie's hurt her ankle from the fall.
She's defenseless. Therefore, pray?
The troll tells her there are special laws. If she obeys these laws, her ankle will heal, and the puddle of blood at her feet will rise into a ladder, which, rung over rung, she can climb all the way up to the trapdoor.
What are the special laws?
The most special law is this: no snooping. But of course the troll lays it out in a biblically formal way. Thou shalt not cast eyes in unwelcome places, neither shall you open cabinetry or peek through curtains. That sort of thing.
But our Lizzie can't resist a secret visit to a closet or a quick peek to cabinetry.
No, she can't.
I'm trying to imagine the mind that rejoices in these stories.
I don't rejoice in them.
Do you always write anonymously?
I really don't want the attention. Not for this kind of work.
What does body horror mean?
Blood spray?
Do all your stories spray blood?
Like a car wash.
Is it ritualistic? For revenge?
These aren't literary stories. The draw is mutilation.
You must know what that is, otherwise you wouldn't be so successful at it.
Mutilation is like a search. It turns a character's insides into outsides, hidden things now seen, roughly exposed.
The reader's desire to see private parts.
And knowing that it's not all right to want that.
An appealing sense of shame, like something from the dark recesses of Puritanism. Shame and rage.
A reliable business model. Jorie, I called to you to make sense of what happened. You didn't answer.
It's taken me a long time. I'm sorry. But now I have a plan, a way for us to move past our troubles into a future tense of joy.
You bring me all the way out here to a place that seems prehistoric to tell me about future joy.
I'll reveal everything soon. But first, let me catch up with you. I didn't realize how much I'd ache to see you.
not the intent of suicide. An image of floating just below the surface of the water. Pale as stone, empty, trailed by fish and birds. No, the ideation of suicide. To imagine the migraine of consciousness, over and done. What can water really do?
I remember a dark time. We were children under pressure, sworn to stay quiet. We disappeared all evidence of the thing we did, but the secret hollowed us out.
Hey!
We were sold.
Not sold. Whatever ceremonial name you want to put to it, we were sold. And him that bought us is an old half-wit in the mistaken light between competence and desire. An inheritance of goat-gnawed automobiles he can't put to profit. The light at the ceremony? The light they say binds us to him? It's the light of absence. The light of isolation. Our toil.
Binding light, bride light,
Indentured light.
light upon sweat, light upon blood,
Light of a raw life.
the light of the belt around our necks,
Light decaying into light.
and the light of our own darkness, receiving.
A fall on an axe will create a specific wound. We have to mimic that wound.
You said we'd hide the body, hide it perfectly.
Anything hidden can one day appear again. We'll be ready no matter what. Come on, let's give it a try. No. Slowly, to practice precision, like this. Chop, chop, chop.
Must you?
Quit throwing rocks at my head! God, y'all! Back the fuck off or I swear I'll kill your husband and your daughter. I'll slit both your throats to rags! Remember, my knife knows the way home, bitches.
Yes. Oh yes, me too. I miss you both. I love you. I will. Goodbye.
They're fine?
Yes, they're fine.
The odds of that crazy girl coming back after we...
I know.
That she even has the sense to find her way out of those woods is...
I know. I'm all good.
How much did you tell your husband?
Who robs a house looking like a wolf? It's so odd.
What about the person in the truck?
Clearly not very brave. Listen, I was thinking, I think we should stay and finish our vacation. I don't think she'll be back. What's wrong?
You mentioned an event that would move us past our troubles so that we can focus on a future tense of joy.
You don't think I orchestrated that break-in, do you?
Maybe it's too late for us to be normal with one another.
Don't say that. I've ached for so long. Let's try, please.
Someone's here.
The park rangers?
We hope.
We searched the woods where she fled, but no luck. She probably made her way to the Fringe.
The Fringe?
Yeah, it's what we call a little ad hoc community between here and town. Camp of young adults who found themselves out of place, now living in the woods by choice.
Are they violent?
Not normally, but sometimes there are drifters.
You're going to thoroughly check this place out, yes? Now that you have the description of the one who attacked us.
I'm on my way there now with the park rangers. I just stopped by to tell you that the woods near your cabin are clear.
You're not a park ranger?
I'm a volunteer.
That's rich. You look like a ranger out of Central Casting.
I know these woods pretty well, I guess.
What do you do?
I'm a pastor at a Congregationalist church in town.
No fooling.
No fooling.
I never would have figured that.
Well, thanks. Maybe.
How is it that this Fringe community is tolerated by the Parks Department?
Not tolerated exactly. I sort of liaison between the two.
Do you have a card or something? I don't mean to be impolite, but if you're not a park ranger, then we ought to have some record of who we're speaking to about our case.
Case? We weren't robbed exactly.
But you clearly saw the knife.
I don't have a card, I'm sorry. My name is Jack Weems. I'm known around the lake. It's easy to check up on me.
Parson Weems.
Sorry.
It's fine. I've heard them all. Believe me, I cannot tell a lie.
Can we go with you to see the Fringe?
Not a good idea. But I can circle back after my look around if you want me to.
That'd be nice, thank you.
Mr. Jack puts the girls of the orphanage on their back.
Animals of the sun will tear the world undone. Light on the horizon gleams with blood. Serpent sets its gaze. You're frozen and amazed. You lose your life and all you understood. The game is fixed to rot. You're here and then you're not. The only thing worth living is a thought. Rapture, rupture, rapture, rupture. The only thing worth living is a thought.
Giant salvinia. The ferns you see here are choking the lake. Biological control through the use of salvinia weevils is the best management option. The weevils devour that the lake may become clear. Looks chaotic, doesn't it?
Looks like renewal. This place is magical.
Yes.
It's as though there's a separation. This natural place and the place of ambition. Place of concrete skin.
There's encroachment. This place needs preserving.
At your church, do you say God's plan?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
It's helpful. Saying plan presents a sense of authority in the unknown. What word would you use?
Spectacle. God's spectacle. God's spectacle, which includes individual damage.
An individual grace?
Can it be included in this talk of spectacle and grace the prospect of a double? That each of us has a double? A double that prepares us for survival?
A representation of ourselves?
Imagine I have a double. Someone who struggles but also sets the stage for me to live more wisely.
Are you talking about Kaidon?
We've been separated for a long time. The lake is our union. Although it sounds magical, I believe I have a way forward for us.
A path you didn't know about before.
Take the idea of heaven and God's plan for destination. Imagine not a plan but a spectacle. Everything happening simultaneously. Instead of toil and reward being one thing followed by another, life and life after. Imagine toil and reward at once, experienced between doubles. One struggle prepares the other's survival. They're at the same pace.
It's interesting.
So, no, not a pathway, an event. An event of grace, where the doubles meet and are made equal.
What type of event is that?
Something extreme.
It's you. Like it or not, you can hear me.
We are a closed community dedicated to God. Silence and obedience are expected. Husband guards us and guides us. His eyes and punishment are swift. Ours too, Kaidon. Our punishment is swift.
Lizzie was alone in the forest. A sour spell had taken over her. She struggled up a hill the way a newborn calf struggles to his feet. She wobbled in and out of the black shadows cast by the cypresses. Were there crows? Yes. Shiny and loud. Lizzie was on the lookout for a circle of stones, a healing place that was assembled on the hill hundreds of years ago. The spell made her ears hurt and her stomach turn. She looked forward to laying down in the circle of stones, covering herself over with ferns and dirt. The stones would dissipate the spell, or so she hoped. Lizzie moved from tree to tree, handling each one for support. She was losing all her strength. All at once, the insects all went dumb. The crows were high up in the quiet. Lizzie felt herself watched. Did a black cat walk by? Yes, delicate and precise. Lizzie felt thoroughly searched, and then she saw a hunter standing on the side of the hill, watching her. The hunter was a woman with a striking face and powerful eyes. Lizzie thought she was probably a goddess, there to guide her, or else murder her, possibly do both.
Why are you here?
I want to change my life.
What is wrong with it?
I've been a terrible person. I'm in so much pain. I need to think about my life and find a new way to be.
What if the change is death? Don't you think it's possible that you deserve to die?
I prefer to live. There's a way to live and be changed. I want that.
What will you do?
Anything. Do you have the authority to help me?
Yes. An exchange is necessary. You must bring me two. Then you will have the opportunity to reform.
Two. All right. I'll bring you two.
I had a moment of recognition, like a face that appears suddenly at the window. First, it's a surprise. Then you know.
Sounds profound.
I found a way for Kaidon and me to let the pain of our past stay in the past. Not a denial. We understand we can't possibly make each other feel what the gap of years was like for each other. Her time staying solitary and me trying to make a life for myself. Right now there is a void between us. A history of absence and the pain of absence. What might help is the shock of the new.
Shock of the new?
The idea is to create a new beginning. It must be a profound experience. Something that regenerates our relationship, allows us to reshape our understanding of one another.
What is this shocking experience?
It has to do with that thief.
There is an old story about snakes saving their hearts in humans. Cold-blooded snakes can live for a time without their hearts, gaining warmth instead by gliding their bodies across sunlit grass and stone. To protect their hearts from trample or combat, snakes often hide their hearts in stronger vessels. There are people so cut off from their own memories their hearts grow cold. No disguise can truly hide them. No matter their appointments or how they surround themselves, they are deeply alone. Snakes seek out such people to hide their hearts in. People who don't know their own heart won't notice. They also carry a snake heart. There are stories of people that died from terrible loneliness. As many as 20 snake hearts have been found in a lonely person that died. And sometimes, people die when snakes come to retrieve their heart. They see snakes approaching and misunderstand the situation. If the snake is cut in two by a worried host, there is a heart within that person that dies. If the snake strikes a person, the poison that goes in the veins will affect the hidden heart. I'll tell you about axes and dirt. There are people that bury their axes but never forget them. There are people who bury their axes and uncover them every night, just to hold them in secret. There are people who bury axes who'll tell you to your face they never carried an axe in all their life. Snakes are careful of their bellies in dirt where axes are hidden. They know they have to put their hearts somewhere safe. They can sense those people cut off from their own memories, people with buried hearts. Such obstinate sadness is the perfect hiding place. Word travels fast when there is a suitable host for the snakes to save their hearts. But there is always a risk. A person burdened by too many snake hearts will find oneself standing at the edge of a cliff or deep water and look into it, search it, with the bloody weight of desire. Desire that drenches the world in a cold chill. We watch out for such people.
The girls of the orphanage on their back.
I believe there are doubles, and we are each other's double. Not an exact likeness. Doubling is one of nature's irregular patterns. It's a way of expressing personal satisfaction and personal crisis. Perhaps one struggle sets the stage to live more wisely, even prosperously. I think that's the case with you and me. You're alone, working anonymously. I have my students and my family. I think what happened to you with old Carl, and how we fixed old Carl, I think it resulted in an imbalance.
It's you. You can hear me, like it or not. I ate a concoction of grass and flowers. It didn't make me whole, but maybe it'll strike your fancy. I'm not as wretched as you think. I have human qualities. When I was little, I drew little forest creatures wearing human clothes, Victorian dresses and waistcoats, moist eyes looking out at you. They weren't very good, and I think most of them I traced out of some book. But I could sort of see in them what my mind intended them to be. Portrait after portrait, adding up to a little society. I'd spread them out and feel fellowship.
Heaven allows individual damage. A double can absorb some of that damage.
You feel her.
Who?
The hunter. She's close.
Where?
Behind those trees, chewing on a dead doe. She wouldn't want you to see her like this. Wait till after she's fed. She's better after having blood.
I thought we'd find a leveling experience out here by this remote lake. I knew about that fringe group that lives in the woods and how they've taken liberties with the rental cabins. The darkness that marks us is self-similar to the darkness that marked the thief. She stands before a mirror and sees an image that's evolving. The image supersedes the host, and soon she'll be brand new, like a snake shedding its skin. We're drawn back, forever back, into our sin against old Carl. Chop, chop, chop.
It is the absence of meaning in what you live, at the moment you are living it, which multiplies the possibilities of your imagination.
I grew up in the country.
I grew up in the city. Probably the things I had were nicer than the things you had.
Probably.
Were you happy?
I had thought life isn't worth living, but it is worth thinking about.
I remember when I was small. I was once held down by several older boys. That set me off to a bad start. That's horrible. I'd like you to consider how you might go on thinking about your life, even after you lose your life. Think about what everlasting means.
I was daydreaming. Where did you take me?
To see the hunter? She's ready for us now. Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
No, there's momentum for us now.
I don't want you coming around the cabin. Leave us alone.
I don't need to go to your cabin to find you.
I'll alert the rangers.
We're tethered now, and you don't need to be afraid. Let events run their course.
Heaven allows individual damage. A double can absorb some of that damage. A double prepares us for survival. I thought a thief might provide us the shock of the new. We'd have a new challenge to unite us. A shared experience that would allow us to begin again.
Hey, you!
Moving forward, that would be the story we would tell. How we chased a thief that trespassed against us, ran her deep into the forest and gone. This story would supplant the story of old Carl. Narrative is everything. Story puts all our experiences and all our dreams into balance. But our doubling now involves uncertainty. Someone messed up the narrative. A player has gone rogue. She's using us as her double, preparing her own survival at our expense. An elaborate double cross. Something in the woods gives her power to pull it off.
person cannot know whether the next moment will be not like any other moment, but one that will change their life or end their life. A deer in the woods goes about its business, knowing only by instinct what sort of creature it is. The one who draws her bow, that is the one who knows what the next moment will be. She will line up her arrow and change time for what is standing in her sight. Do you understand? Who am I to you?
You are the hunter.
Do I have the power to change your life?
Oh, yes.
Do you see before you a better life?
I do.
Do you take it upon yourself to afford that better life?
I do.
One world falls away, another is taking shape.
When the ordeal ends, who's there? Nobody's there. That's what Lizzie believed. She began walking in the direction of never coming back. What was the meaning of the thing that happened? The thing that had been like a tornado in her life. It's something that will always follow, and the howling of its anger behind her is something she will have to relish as she moves forward, aiming so earnestly for a future tense of joy.
Nice work getting your degree, Angela. Surprised you stayed around here, though.
I'm exactly where I need to be.